Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. I remember the exact moment I knew something was wrong. I was adjusting my tie in the mirror, trying to calm my shaking hands, when my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. Can't wait to see you tonight, winky face. And attached was a photo that made my chest tighten. It wasn't from the usual wedding vendor or a last-minute guest confirmation. It was from her. My wife. And she wasn't looking at me. She was looking at someone else. I tried to shake it off. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe I was imagining things. I took a deep breath, slipped my suit jacket on, and told myself, it's your wedding day. Don't let paranoia ruin it. But the seed of doubt had already been planted. The days leading up to the wedding had been off. She was distracted, constantly on her phone, laughing at messages I wasn't part of. I convinced myself it was stress, planning, last-minute changes, nerves. But then came the small things. Missed calls, excuses about staying late at work, brushing off questions with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. I began checking my own reflection more often than hers, wondering if I was the one losing touch with reality. On the morning of the wedding, everything should have been perfect. The sun streamed through the chapel windows, the flowers smelled faintly of roses and jasmine, and the soft hum of piano music filled the room. Yet when I saw her walking down the aisle, it wasn't just awe that struck me, it was emptiness. She scanned the room, her smile directed at everyone but me. Friends, cousins, distant colleagues, I felt invisible, like a ghost standing at the altar. My chest tightened with a strange mix of anger and heartbreak, but I forced a smile, muttering vows I barely felt. After the ceremony, during the reception, the reality hit like a punch. She clinked glasses, laughed at jokes, danced with everyone else, and barely touched my hand. I watched her lean close to someone I didn't know, whispering, laughing, lingering. Each laugh, each touch, felt like betrayal carved into my skin. I tried to reason with myself. Maybe it was innocent, but the gnawing suspicion wouldn't leave. Later that night, alone in the hotel room, I finally broke. I grabbed her phone while she showered, my hands trembling, heart hammering. There it was. Texts and photos I could never unsee, flirty, intimate, urgent messages that painted a story of months I hadn't been a part of. The proof was undeniable. I felt dizzy, nauseous, my world tilting. Every memory, the late nights she said were work, the smiles, the whispered "I love you," they all felt like lies. I didn't know what to do at first. Rage, cry, run. I sat there in silence, staring at the ceiling, hearing echoes of laughter that weren't meant for me. I thought about confronting her, about begging for an explanation, but a quiet, burning part of me whispered, "You deserve better." The next morning I didn't speak much. She asked if everything was okay. I said yes. I knew I couldn't stay in that room with her pretending nothing had happened. I left the hotel, wandered through the city, and ended up at a small cafe I'd loved before all of this. And there she was, someone I had met just a few weeks ago, someone kind, attentive, unburdened by lies. We didn't rush, we just talked. She didn't replace the past, I wasn't trying to erase it, but for the first time in weeks I felt seen. Later, when I told my wife I was leaving, she didn't fight. Not because she was innocent, but because she knew. There was no dramatic confession, no tears, just a quiet acknowledgement of the choices we'd both made. I packed my life into the trunk of my car, leaving behind rings, memories, the hollow echoes of promises. I felt grief, yes, but also relief, clarity, a strange, liberating sense of power over my own life. I learned that love can be blinding, but self-respect can be clearer than anything. I learned that betrayal isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, polite, a choice made in plain sight. And I learned that walking away doesn't always mean losing. It can mean finally choosing yourself. At our wedding, she chose everyone else. I chose someone new. Not out of spite, not out of revenge, but out of the courage to reclaim my own heart. And for the first time in a long time, I felt like it was finally mine again.